Hey everybody, welcome to another Con support video. This one's on order of operations with negative numbers. So I got your assignment right here on Con, ready to load up. I said, let's go. All right, and we're just going to jump in here and do these problems for you guys. And let's make sure you're comfortable. So I'm going to bring Cami up. All right. So the first problem that we're going to do is negative 5. And you're going to add to that 7 times 9 in parentheses. So you would start by asking yourself, what terms do you have here? Looking for addition or subtraction outside of parentheses. Since that's a lead value, you can consider that a negative, right? So we end up with 2 terms here. You've got this green value of negative 5, and you've got this blue value of 7 times 9. Well, let's just go through and figure out what the green value is worth. That's obviously worth negative 5. And we're going to add to that whatever the blue value is, and that's just one operation, 7 times 9, which is 63. So ultimately, you're looking at just negative 5 plus 63. So who's going to win? The positive by how much? And then 63 take away 5 is going to be 58. So the correct answer there is just 58. So you put 58 and you hit enter, and you're good to go. Let's do the next one. Okay, this one is requiring us to do... this one says negative 5 plus the quantity of 63 divided by 9. Another pretty easy one. So if you're doing this, you've got a negative 5, and you're adding to that the quantity of 63 on top and 9 on bottom. And that looks a little messy, so let's clean that up a little bit. And this, once again, if you think about it, this is just 2 terms. You've got this lead value of negative 5. You get your separator of addition, and then you've got your other value that is 63 divided by 9. So once again, this is really super easy if you think about it carefully. You're going to get negative 5 plus whatever this is worth in blue. And what is 63 divided by 9? That is going to be 7. So this is really just a negative 5 plus 7. Who's going to win? Positive by how much? 2. So that's going to be an answer of 2, and you're good to go. The next one, okay, this one's got a little more to it. So let's see if this is more challenging. Let's grab our paper here. Let me copy it down. So number 3 that they've given us here is 1 minus 4 times negative 3 plus 8, and then times negative 3. All right, so that's kind of the process we got there. So looking at this, you want to identify your separators. And your separators are going to be addition or subtraction outside of parentheses. So that's a separator. That's inside of parentheses. It's a negative sign anyways. That's a separator. So this is a 3-term expression. You get your first term, which is going to be 1, value of 1. You get the second term, which is going to be 4 times negative 3. And that's going to be subtracted, of course. And then you've got this last term here, which is going to be added, which is going to be the value of 8 times negative 3. So just be careful with your signs and work within each of these. So the value of 1 is 1. We're going to subtract, right? Let's stay the same. Whatever this blue thing is worth. Well, what's 4 times negative 3? A positive times a negative is a negative. So that value is going to be, in parentheses, negative 12. Okay, so it's like 1 take away negative 12. And then you're going to be adding to that whatever this pink value is. Well, what's 8 times negative 3? 8 times negative 3, a positive times a negative is a negative, so that's going to be negative 24. So really what you have here is the statement or the expression 1 take away negative 12 plus negative 24. Remember, whenever you have subtraction, you can rewrite as addition, because subtraction is the same as adding the opposite. So you would say this is the same as 1 plus the opposite of negative 12, which is positive 12, and then plus negative 24. You can do this on a scoreboard, or you can do it 2 at a time. At this point, I recommend using just 2 at a time. It's pretty simple. So let's just do it 2 at a time. 1 plus 12 is 13. And then we're going to take that 13 and we're going to add negative 24 to it. Who's going to win? Positive or negative? The negative. By how much? What's 24 take away 13? Well, 24 take away 13 is 11. So the answer is going to be negative 11. And that's it. And so your answer here should be negative 11. And you can go to the next problem. So the next problem is going to be 4 take away the quantity of 3 minus 2 squared. So let me bring back my Cami. Let's copy it down and let's show the step-by-step process so everyone's comfortable and on the same page. So here's number 4. Let me make that look a little prettier for you. There we go. And so this is going to be 4 take away the quantity of 3 minus 2 squared. So first thing you're going to do is identify your addition and subtraction outside of parentheses as separators. You're going to think about what terms you have here. So there's one subtraction sign outside of parentheses. So this is really a two-term expression. You've got this blue term here, 4, and you got the other thing, which is going to be all this green stuff here that's being subtracted from that 4. And so let's go through and do it one step at a time. All right, the blue value is 4, so that's easy. We know that. Then we've got this green value. Now the green value is going to be done in 2 parts because you've got parentheses and exponents. Now remember to apply PEMDAS carefully. So when you're thinking about PEMDAS, it's parentheses, then exponent, then multiply and divide at the same time from left to right, then add subtract at the same time from left to right. So work inside the parentheses first. You've got 3 minus 2. What is 3 minus 2? 1. So this is the same as 1 to the second power. Well, 1 to the second power now can be done. What's 1 times 1? 1. So this is really just going to be 4 take away 1. The green thing is worth 1. So 4 take away 1 is your answer. And what is 4 take away 1? That's just 3. So you're going to have an answer here of 3. Let's go to the next one. Okay. So on this one, let's scroll down a little bit. We're going to copy it down and go through it one step at a time again. So this is going to be negative 3 raised to the third power minus 4 squared. Okay. Once again, look for your addition or subtraction outside of parentheses to separate it. You've got 2 terms here. You've got your negative 3 to the third power, and you've got your 4 to the second power. And they're going to be subtracted from one another. So now let's go through and do the green value first. Negative 3 to the third power is going to be the whole parentheses being raised to that third power. Remember, exponents only apply to what they're directly touching. So this is really negative 3 times itself 3 times. So this is going to be the same as negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. Well, a negative times a negative times a negative would be a negative value, because 2 negatives makes positive, and then you're going to times that by a negative. Positive times negative is negative. So ultimately, this is worth a negative value. And 3 times 3 times 3 is 9 times 3, which is 27. So this is worth negative 27. You're then going to subtract from that whatever 4 squared is. Now that exponent only applies directly to what it's touching. It is not raising the negative or that subtraction sign to the second power. There's no parentheses around that subtraction sign. It's not included with the 4. So the base is just the 4. So this is just take away 4 squared. Well, what is 4 squared? 4 times 4 is 16. So you're going to be subtracting 16 from that. Now remember, negative 27 take away positive 16 is exactly the same as negative 27 plus the opposite of positive 16, which is negative 16. So this is really these two negatives being added together, right? So the answer is going to get more negative. And so let's just kind of clean this up a little bit for you. And so what you're going to end up with is a negative answer. You're going to add up 27 and 16. Remember, when you're adding integers, if the sign's the same, find the sum. Just add it up and keep the sign the same. So we know it's going to be a negative answer. And 27 plus 16 is going to be 27 plus 6, which is 33, and then plus 10 more. So we're looking at negative 43 as your answer here. So you go here and you put negative 43 and enter. And then the next problem we can set up back to Cami, and we can do this one carefully, one step at a time. So I think is it number 5? Let's see. Yeah, that's number 6. Okay, so here's number 6 for us. We're going to do number 6, and it's going to be 1 times the quantity of negative 4, take away 8, and then times the quantity of 9 divided by negative 3. Okay? So when we're looking at this, the first thing we're going to do is look for our separators, addition and subtraction outside of parentheses, and figure out what terms we have here. So I'm seeing one subtraction sign there that's outside of the parentheses. So that means that it's really this value on the left, and we are subtracting this value on the right. Okay, so we got a blue value, take away this green value. And we go through the blue value, we got multiplication. What's 1 times negative 4? Negative 4. 1 times anything is itself. We're going to subtract from that whatever this value in green is here. And in this value in green, we're going to have multiplication and division. Now, you might be thinking, well, first you multiply, right? Because you multiply from left to right. But what are you going to multiply by? This whole fraction anyways, right? So you're going to just resolve the value of the fraction first. 9 divided by a negative 3 is going to be a negative 3. And so then you really have just here 8 times negative 3. and that's going to be negative 24. Okay, so the green value is negative 24. And so you have negative 4 take away negative 24. We're going to rewrite our subtraction as addition. So when we change that subtraction to addition, we change what was being subtracted to its opposite. So what is the opposite of negative 24? Positive 24. So taking away a negative is the same as adding a positive. And so now this is a battle, right? We're adding integers here. Who's going to win, positive or negative? The positive, because it pulls further from 0. By how much? What's 24 take away 4? That's going to be 20. So the answer here is just positive 20. Okay, so you go over here for positive 20. And then last but not least, we've got this one. Now, I think at this point you guys are probably experts, but I just want to kind of help you out a little bit. So I'm going to kind of do this on the paper as well, just because I'm being consistent. It's pretty easy to do, but I'll do it on paper for you guys. So 7, and let's go through it. Negative 7, and we're going to times that by 7 plus 9 in parentheses. There's no addition or subtraction outside of parentheses. So this whole thing is one big old term. So this is a one-term expression. It's all one term. So you're just going to use PEMDAS. That's it. So you're going to work within the parentheses, 7 plus 9 first. What is 7 plus 9? 16. So you really have negative 7 times. All right, let's come back. So that's going to be negative 7 times positive 16. And then you're just going to multiply it. A negative times a positive is going to be a negative answer. And 7 times 16 is the same as 7 times 10 plus 7 times 6. So that's going to be 70 plus 42, which is going to be 30 to get to 100 plus 12 more, so 112. So it looks like negative 112. And that would be what you guys get as your answer. So you go over here and you put that in, negative 112, and now we're done. All right, that's how you do the problems.